As the prices of smartwatches creeps higher and higher, it really just makes the cheap Mi Band even better. I last looked in on the series a few years back with the third iteration, and things have changed dramatically in that time. My previous experience gave me the impression that these bands were a bit cheap and limited, but the Mi Band 7 feels like a fully featured companion, rivaling many smartwatch experiences in both features and software integration. It packs a 1.62-inch Slim Boy display, which compares to many smartwatches, but in a narrow form factor. The dimensions felt fine on my wrist, but may feel a tad too long on smaller ones. Notifications came through reliably, but stack up in an annoying list which feels like it wants you to clear them out periodically, which I ignored without any repercussions so far. They also can't be actioned or responded to directly. This may be a deal breaker for some, but it was fine for my use. Full notification mirroring is a bit overzealous, as it keeps picking up things like my Pixel's now playing, and sends through each and every song. But the app is simple to configure, and narrowing the notifications is better for your mental health anyway. The app can be a little annoying though, as some settings can only be found in the app, and some are only found on the device. I would really prefer an all or nothing approach here, as it tended to just waste my time flicking around. We also get all the usual features like Find My Phone, music player, flashlight, and timers if you want them. For the price, I'd probably be happy with just this functionality, but then we get some pretty decent tracking too. The sleep tracking is okay overall. I generally like the software as it presents data trends well, showing variations in bedtime and hours slept. I don't love the blocky style of the sleep stages, especially compared to Fitbit, but you do get the idea. Just ensure that advanced sleep tracking is turned on to actually get sleep cycles. It wasn't the most accurate compared to my Fitbit. It did okay at picking up sleep times, but wasn't great at detecting awake stages, either during the night or first thing in the morning. Fitbit has a separate awake section, and doesn't add this to your overall sleep time, where the Mi Band seems to just lump it all together. So it would always track nearly an hour more sleep. For fitness tracking, it gives a crazy amount of random activities to select. Things like hacky sack, billiards, kite flying, and esports. It gets a bit overwhelming, but at least once you use an option, it appears in the quick list for around a week. I like the presentation of training effort, with nice colours and an easy to see graphic if you're pushing too hard or just enough. The rest of the info I prefer on a Fitbit, with it also making me feel better with my overall effort, as the Mi Band calorie results were always 20 to 30% less, with the average heart rate being lower too. The Mi Band worked fine under my hockey gloves, and also featured a lock screen to keep things from being interrupted. The smaller device footprint can be a problem though, as it tends to cause a bit more pressure on the wrist, especially if it gets bumped or knocked, causing more discomfort and sometimes bruising compared to flatter smartwatches. The clip style is also not my preference compared to the traditional buckle, as it's fallen off on a few occasions, but the band material was otherwise quite comfortable. Battery life kept me happy, offering far better endurance than wearOS devices, but less than larger Amazfits. With all features on, you're only looking at around 5 days. Cut that in half if you want to use the always-on display, which I didn't find worthwhile. I found my sweet spot by disabling the breathing tracker, having advanced sleep on, and using raise to wake at default sensitivity. With this, I managed 10 days off the charger, while sleep tracking and getting 5 workouts in. You can always turn it off overnight if you don't feel like sleeping with it too. Something I appreciate, as the only way to turn off my previous Mi Band 3 was to let the battery drain entirely. Getting it back into action isn't too inconvenient either, as charging is reasonably quick. It only took an hour to bring it up to 90%, but it will need another 30 minutes for that last 10%. It is a proprietary charger though, so it may get lost over time, Kinda like my Mi Band 3 charger. For a paltry $50 reduce, this is an absolutely amazing wearable for the price, offering a stylish, functional companion and competent tracking. At around 20% the price of many smartwatches, it definitely offers a bonkers level of value that makes it almost impossible to feel buyer's remorse for just trying it out. While I still prefer the typical smartwatch form factor for the wider display, it's hard to go past this at the price offered. Cheers for watching, guys. If you made it this far, why not chuck us a like? It's free and really helps me out. Otherwise, until next time, take it easy and stay casual.